Hey, folks, it's my friend Tina. Hi, Tina.
Hi, how are you, Scott?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What a privilege.
I'm honored.
I know. Well, good. Me too. I'm honored more. So I want to hear just your story, like quick life story, and who are you and what are you all about?
I have been affectionately dubbed by my colleague as the wearer of many hats. Yeah, I was just talking about, I'm a full-time student.
Mhm.
I go to Cal Poly and I'm expected to graduate with my bachelor's in May.
Whoa, cool. Coming right up.
Right.
What are you studying?
Business administration with the emphasis on new venture management.
Whoa, good major.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. I also am a co-owner with my husband, and we run a mobile car detailing business called Spot to Spot Mobile Detailing.
Wow. You're in McKinleyville. You guys are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've won a few awards.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a little bit of recognition.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you guys are good.
Thanks.
Yeah, legends up thereabouts.
Yeah, trying to.
And so you've done a lot of work with human trafficking and other things too, which we'll get to.
Mm-hmm. I do a lot of advocacy work here in Humboldt County.
Mm-hmm.
When I moved to Humboldt County about 10 years ago, I noticed that there was an issue. And so the way I came about doing some work and bringing events here is, I brought my dad. Moved up here to take care of my dad, and my dad was I'd bring him dinner, and he said, "Oh, just put my dinner over there on the table, and I'll get to it when I get back." And so when I came over the next day, I was like, "Dad, what kind of board meeting did you have?" He said, "Oh, Human Rights Commission meeting."
Oh.
I said, "Oh, okay. Well, what do they do there?" And he began to explain the things that they take care of there. And I said, "Dad, could I present human trafficking there?" And he said, "Do you think that's going on here?" I said, "Oh, absolutely."
Totally, yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, yeah, that'd be the place." So to make a long story short, we organized the first human trafficking awareness event in front of the Human Rights Commission.
Wow.
At the courthouse, and it was well attended. And at that time, I kind of stayed in the background. Because one, we live in a small community.
Right.
Two, my father was Native and very well known in the community. And three, I wanted to keep his honor. Did he know my background and my history? Yeah, he did. But did I want to announce it and, be in the forefront at the time? No, I didn't.
So let's back up. So human trafficking at its base definition is what? So I think we all kind of think we know what it is, but maybe give us a fully orbed.
So have you seen the movie Tricked?
Uh-uh.
Oh, have you seen the movie Taken?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's absolutely nothing like that.
Okay. Yeah. You know that one movie? It's not like that.
9 times out of 10, human trafficking, the legal definition of human trafficking is force, fraud, or coercion, right? If there's a means to that and the force, fraud, or coercion has happened, then you could call it human trafficking.
Okay.
But 9 times out of 10, what has happened is it's somebody close to the family. It's someone who an individual has met online, or unfortunately here in Humboldt County, it's a family member who has begun to traffic that family member individual for their benefit.
So traffic doesn't necessarily mean they send them overseas or they put them in a boxcar. That means they're coercing them to do fraudulent behavior or illegal behavior or against their will.
Sexual behavior.
Mostly sexual.
And 9 times out of 10, it's not always against their will. They think that they're agreeing to it. But when they do that, it's because they're loyal. I always default to the Romeo pimp. There's many different kinds of traffickers, right? The Romeo pimp has wooed the individual into thinking that they're in love. And so they're doing this, I'm going to do this for a little while,
right.
So.
And it's really serious. It's all serious, but it's super serious when it's a minor, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And what percentage are female?
You know, unfortunately, the statistics are grossly underreported. And why do you think that is?
Because it's secret.
Well, there are just as many males being trafficked as there are females. And what happens is young men are, there's a taboo and there's shame attached to anybody identifying as a traffic victim, especially if you're male.
Sure. Yeah. So you went to so the commission, is that a county commission?
Yes.
Locally? And they're still in force?
Yes.
So what is it? Is it a monthly?
Yeah,
commission
they meet
meeting?
it inside the
chambers?
At the county courthouse.
Yeah. Gotcha. Are you active on that chamber or in that committee now?
I don't sit on that board yet. I have so
I like
many.
the yet there.
I do sit on a board, but I don't sit on that board. I sit on a couple of boards, as a matter of fact, but not at that one yet. But I do collaborate with them a lot.
Yeah. And you've spoken about this across the nation, right?
Not across the nation, but
I heard maybe Texas. Did Joni say you were in Texas at one point?
I have went to Texas.
That's a ways across the nation. That's halfway.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to that. I want to hear about your story growing up. Tell us the Tina story. How did you get to Humboldt? Where did you come from? How did you your story?
So I lived here in junior high. I came to live with my dad, and I came from the city. And as an individual from junior high, moving to Humboldt County was a shocker.
Yeah.
And I absolutely did not like Humboldt County as a junior.
Where'd you come from?
From Sacramento, the Stockton area.
Yeah.
And
Stockton's rough.
Yeah.
South Stockton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did not like Humboldt County. It was too slow for me. And it rained all the time when I was a kid.
Weird.
Nothing like it is
It actually
now.
rains. It didn't rain in November. This month has been amazing.
No, it rained all the time when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, you know how there's pop-up stores in the mall? There was a pop-up store in the mall, and this store had T-shirts. And one of the T-shirts said, in Humboldt County, we don't tan, we rust.
We rust. Or we mold.
Yeah.
I like it.
So I moved up here and when I was a kid, and then moved away. I got caught up in the system and became a juvenile of the ward of the court.
Oh, wow.
And I was gone for quite a while. Had some kids, lived in Southern California. And then my father's health started declining. And I came back about 10 years ago.
Wow.
And when I came back, I was like, what was I thinking as a kid? I absolutely love it here. The weather is perfect.
Right.
Yeah. Community's perfect.
Yeah. Oh, so many ways. So we just traveled. We went overseas and came back. And the air quality here is 100%. It's the benchmark of good air.
Right.
And the people, I was really I was talking to you before the show. People in the Netherlands are not necessarily the most outgoing. And I don't think it's European, but it's at least they're not overtly outgoing. And they are here. I was finding myself this weekend just chatting it up with people and going, gosh, I really love this. This is who I am. And these are my people. And Jen and I went to, we have a picnic routine up at Huda Point with Camel Rock, and we throw the van doors open and have a whole picnic and put chairs out, and here's the sunset. It's like, what? You can't even create this. This is total creator stuff. And it's like, oh, that's why we live here, because it's magical and amazing and blessed, and a few more cool words that you're right, to your point.
It's got perfect weather year round.
Yeah. I mean, Medford was 27 degrees. You come here, it's 52 or 3. It's still cool, but it's not, you're not like with gloves. It's like not glove weather or sweater,
Well, I don't know. I always wanted, I thought about moving to Grants Pass before, but I don't like all 4 seasons.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's consistent. So you left the area and you came back.
Yes.
Is your dad still living, by the way?
He's not.
He's not.
No.
Yeah. So you cared for your daddy when he came back?
I did.
That's cool.
I got the honor and privilege to take care of both my parents until they passed.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's neat. So tell me, so then met Robert, or you came back with Robert and you guys?
Oh, we have like this crazy love story.
Okay. Tell me more. Everybody likes a good crazy love story.
Yeah, well, we originally married the first time in 1994. And we had 2 kids. I had 2, he had 2, then we had 2 together. And then we separated. He remarried, had another child, and I didn't. And I tried to date around, but it wasn't like that old comfortable shoe, you know? Put it on and just.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so anyway, we decided to start dating again. And then when I said I was moving up here to take care of my dad, he said he was coming with me.
Wow.
And so
Feeling was mutual.
Yeah. So we lived up here for a couple of years, and then we got remarried. I don't know if there's some way that you could do it 2 times. Like the first time, man, second time is awesome.
Awesome. Good. A lot of people have, figured it out. So
good thing you and Joni figured it out all the way through, right?
Yeah, no, not without challenges. 42 years, and people ask me, and Joni will listen to this later and go, "Oh no." People go, "How long have you been married, Scott?" And I go, "Not long enough." Joni goes, Stop that.
Yeah.
So, who? Joni's dad had 2 questions. So let me back up. So we have history together.
We do.
My wife, your friend Joni did the LA Marathon together.
We did.
And you got to meet my father-in-law, Tom.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and hang out with Tommy.
Oh, Tom is the best.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Let's say he was a cool dude. I don't want to talk about, he's not on this earth, but he's a cool guy. Yeah, he's an amazing guy. A whole life of addiction and craziness. And, I always say he finished his football game very well, scored a lot of touchdowns. And he was a really key, integral part of Joni and her siblings' lives. And he touched you, and you guys finished the marathon together in a lot of pain. I understand.
My foot hurt. Yeah. My foot hurt during that time.
But he did he walk or run with you guys at the end?
He did.
Or through a bunch of it?
Yeah, he was awesome.
That's cool.
When we pulled up, Joni and I, in the airport, he pulled up with the top down and and the music playing.
I Love LA by Randy Newman.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I was like, I bet you anybody who doesn't live in California, this is how they visualize California.
Right. And he was like the dude. He was not pretentious. He had a crappy old Volvo, and here he is. It is Tommy. What are we doing? He'd take our kids, and hey, want to go to Trinidad? Yeah, let's go. And he'd leave, and I'd go. It takes me 8 years to plan that trip, and he would just like load up in the car and be gone. And he was Mr. Spontaneous. But he had 2 questions, and I'm going to ask you those questions. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Who are you, and what do you want? If you can identify those 2 things in your life, it tells a lot about you and your self-worth. So who are you?
Well, today I am, I'm an inspirational speaker. I talk and train people on what human trafficking looks like. But most importantly, I think my secret sauce is I'm a connector. Like, oh, Scott, you need to meet this person.
Yeah.
Or this person, you need to meet Scott.
Totally get it.
And I am a people person, right? Yeah. And I'm all about community. I am all about being in nature and reconnecting to that.
Yeah.
For the longest, I wasn't connected to culture. And I have a pretty rich history and culture. And I think that because I too am in sobriety, that it's only when I connected to culture, connected spiritually, and that I made those connections that it rooted me into staying sober.
Well said.
Yeah. And what do I want?
Yeah.
I want to leave a legacy for the next 7 generations.
Wow.
I don't want information to be lost with me.
Mm-hmm.
I want, we're storytellers, right?
Right.
And I want kids to know what their ancestors knew. I don't want it to be lost with each generation.
Good.
Has some been lost today?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah. But if we make a part of that revitalization and we're intentional about that.
I was just thinking the word intentional.
Yeah.
You grabbed it right out of my brain.
Yeah.
Got to be intentional. That's good. Tell me about your tribal background. What tribe?
I am I don't want to say I'm an enrolled member. I am an enrolled member of the Confederated Tribes of Siletz, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
However,
where's that?
In Oregon.
What part? Just all? Are they all over Oregon?
Our reservation makes up, I want to say 27 different bands of natives.
Oh, wow.
And so our ancestors originated from the Grants Pass area.
Okay.
Around Jump Off Joe Creek.
Okay.
And then when colonization happened, a bunch split. Some came down towards Klamath, Smith River, and then some were marched up to Siletz, where we reside now.
Where's Siletz? Is it on the 5?
You could get to it there, but it's actually, where Newport, Oregon is.
Yeah,
it's
on the coast.
Inland.
Yeah.
It's inland from Newport.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a casino up from there in Lincoln City.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. So who are you, and what do you want? You've answered that. I like the. I share so much of that connection, relationships, nature, and you're right that Humboldt County allows for all of that because there's lots of relationships. I have a relationship with Nick, our producer. Connections. Hey, I want you to meet Tina. She's my friend, and he's Mr. Connection because he's got 2 million podcasts. And so, and then if we want to, we can go take a walk in the woods 5 minutes away. Sequoia Park's right there, and so we kind of got it all in Humboldt in so many ways. Kind of bring that point home, and I realized that. So let's talk about Humboldt, the county, and the culture, the people for a minute. In your perspective of what you see as our significant challenges right now. And human trafficking, let's just go back real quick to that, because I think I wanted to make a point. From the marijuana grow industry, is that primarily where you saw the initial human trafficking that you...
Nope.
No, not necessarily. Okay, so
I didn't.
That's my assumption. So
no, I didn't.
So just in general?
Yeah. I don't want to bash the cannabis industry because there are some people that are doing it right.
Yeah.
They got it right. Right.
Yeah.
But of course, just like everything in the world, there are some people that give the legal cannabis industry a bad name.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it happening like that with those people that are giving them a bad name? Yeah, it is.
Sure.
I've had calls from the hotline where people have said that, they were up on the hill and, X, Y, and Z happened to them.
Wow.
Is human trafficking happening right here in Humboldt County? Absolutely. Is it only in the cannabis industry? Absolutely not.
Gotcha. Okay. That's good. I wanted to retract that and revisit that. So what do you see as the challenges for our county?
The biggest regarding human trafficking?
Anything, including.
Well, let's see. Now I'm a business student. Let's not talk about the challenges. Let's talk about the opportunity.
We'll get there. We'll go there next. You got to have one before the other,
right?
Or maybe not.
The challenges are, of course, we're rural. Transportation in and out of Humboldt County is difficult. When when it comes to human trafficking, our biggest barrier and the biggest problem we have is that we don't have specific beds for individuals who are being trafficked.
Wow.
We have other organizations that have beds, but they're not conducive to just trafficked individuals.
Oh.
There's somebody right now who is thinking about moving forward with the process of opening a safe house. And so we hope that becomes a thing. But we have a couple people that volunteer to provide beds occasionally, but we don't have a program. Most of the time, well, always, if I find a bed for somebody, is out of the county and a lot of times out of the state.
So housing crisis again, but on a different level.
Yes.
So what kind of beds are there out there than just for maybe a homeless family but not necessarily trafficked? If you could find a bed, where would it be? Would it be specifically toward a homeless population?
Well, we have North Coast Rape Crisis. We have Humboldt Domestic Violence. We have, of course, Betty Chen. We've got the Mission. We've got a lot of beds.
Yeah.
Right. But none of them are conducive. However, we do have some people that'll say they'll put a bed aside just for a trafficked individual. But in an ideal world, we want a program for those individuals that can help them get back to being a productive member of society,
right? Because the needs are specific. Yeah. Okay. Down to your question, opportunities. So the challenges are there. What are the opportunities that you see in Humboldt?
I think that Humboldt shouldn't look at the barriers, but look at where can they spearhead entrepreneurship, because I think that Humboldt County is ripe for entrepreneurship and people who can start something with a passion. And there's been many successful businesses here in Humboldt County that have started just with somebody who had a passion. Yeah.
Oh, could count them. So I was in advertising, so I would call on a lot of those businesses for advertising back in the day. Remember the newspaper thing? There was a thing called a newspaper? Or a real radio station that you could tune in. Yeah, those things. So back in the day, and a lot of older businesses now started with that entrepreneurial small scale. I mean, Eureka Natural Foods was in a little just a little building in Eureka, and now it's 2 locations and amazing. So So what do you see for our future? What from your perspective? So entrepreneurial enterprise and people growing businesses and jobs and homes and families. What beyond that do you want to see?
I don't know if I per se what I want to see, but I think that if people are going to be productive in Humboldt County and be successful, that I see technology as a thing that individuals in Humboldt County are going to need to embrace, regardless of what that looks like, because it's here. And so it can be a bad thing or a good thing.
Right.
And if you embrace it and learn about it, then I think that technology is probably the next pivotal thing in Humboldt County.
Right. Yeah, no, because we're so far away. We really haven't even talked about the medical gap that we have, in terms of care. There's 5 neurologists, I understood. Now there's 1 in the whole county. I'm going, what? That can't be good. So you're out there making a difference. How do we help you locally or not locally with human traffic awareness and how we can take part as friends, but also what would we look for? If we were hanging out and I knew that Nick was being trafficked, what would be the signs? It'd be tougher maybe with a dude. I don't know, but what?
Well, first, let me say this. This is my disclaimer. What I tell you that it looks like today could change tomorrow.
Sure.
Trafficking is just like technology. It's ever changing. The first thing that I would say that you would look for in young individuals is do they have more than one phone that parents didn't provide? Are they sleepy at school? Are they hanging around with older people? Are they protective of the older boyfriend? Unable to answer the validity of new tattoos, and trips or absence, trips that are unexplained.
Yeah. Just absence without AWOL, if you will. Yeah. Okay. Those are good. So that's young people. How about people, I don't know our age, if that's fair, but how about older than teens or young adults? What would you look for there?
Except for minus the school, there's a lot of things. Are they able to keep their own money? Do they have possession of their own ID or Social Security cards? A lot of times traffickers will move individuals from point A to point B, and that's a lot of times different states. Do they not know where they are, where they come from? Unable to answer you direct questions.
I saw that at SFO at the airport. It was, is someone holding your ID for you or your Social Security card or your driver's license? I thought, oh, okay. That's kind of ties in with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Somebody in possession of your ID. Yeah, that would be.
It's a control tactic.
That'd be a red flag, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do we help in your quest, in your mission, in your job in making the difference?
Well,
in this area,
we need help. We have a drop-in center. We have a hotline. We're trying to get this house up to code. Finances, we do have a hotline. If you know somebody or you think that you know somebody who's being trafficked, the hotline here in Humboldt County is 707-599-1415. You can call that.
Say it again, 707.
599-1415. And you can call that and have somebody that you think is being trafficked call that, or you can call it if you think you know somebody who's being trafficked. And also, we take financial donations, and you can mail those to 1032 Bay Street in Eureka and put attention EPI. It stands for Empower, Protect, and Invest.
EPI. And is that Bay Street? Is that in like Faith Center Church, or is that?
That's where it's housed at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So most people locally would know Faith straight up the street from here.
Yeah.
Actually. Okay. So Faith Center has that, and what? How about a website?
We're on Facebook.
Okay,
it's
that works.
EPI.
EPI.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go check it out when we're done. That'd be good. Okay. Any parting shots? Anything you would want to talk about that we haven't, or bring forward?
One of probably the best pieces of information I heard was from local law enforcement, and I like to pass it by. And that is, if you see something, say something. It may not be anything to you, but maybe if 5 other people have reported the same thing, then maybe they'll pay attention to it, right?
See something, say something.
Yeah. And with that, there's opportunity everywhere in Humboldt County in eradicating human trafficking. It's not all bliss. There is good stuff.
Sure. And I'm sure you've seen some. That's awesome. Thanks for all you do there. What's it going to say on your tombstone? What do you want? What do you want them to engrave there?
The connector.
The connector. The connector. I love it. Well, hey, appreciate you, Tina. Appreciate your friendship, and thanks for being here. Thanks for that. And I'm going to try to get this up on cable TV as well, so people can. And if they want to get a hold of you personally, should they do that through the Facebook page?
They can call that number, 707-599-1415.
599-1415. It's EPI.
Yep.
On Facebook.
Yeah.
Easy to find. All right. Bless you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate you coming.
All right. See ya.